Hello dear students, let us continue with the chapter matter in our surroundings. In the previous period we have seen characteristics of particles of matter. We have also seen the definition of matter and the theory of matter which was given earlier by our ancient philosophers regarding the 5 elements, and then we also saw one activity to show that particles of matter are very tiny. So we are done with the characteristics of matter. The first point, that is particles of matter are very tiny. We had done dilution so many times, and then we saw the color. It propagates into the last container as well. Now let us see the next two. One characteristic is particles of matter have space in between them. So children, whatever matter it is, in solid state, liquid or gas state, there will be always some space in between the particles of matter. Now to support this, there is an activity 1.1 given in your textbook, that it is an activity of there is a container or a beaker in which water is taken, and then sugar or salt is added to this, and it has been proved in that activity that the volume does not change. And then it is asked, then where does the salt or sugar go? You just read that activity, you will come to know. So we are taking 100 ml of water, and then we are adding salt or sugar, and after stirring, after dissolving, we see that the volume does not change. So then the question is, then where did the salt or sugar go? So then the conclusion according to that activity is that salt or sugar, it does not take any extra place, but it will occupy the interparticle spaces or intermolecular spaces of water. That is the conclusion of this activity. But let me tell you children, that this concept which is given in the textbook is not correct. Why it is not correct? Because the volume changes. But in the textbook, what activity has been shown, that is a beaker is taken and salt or sugar is put into water. With that, we will not be able to see the change in the volume, because the diameter of the beaker is quite big, the quantity of water is also much. So in order to prove this or disprove this rather, we'll do an activity now. We'll take a syringe, and that syringe I will plug it with an eraser, and then I fill water till 5 ml in the syringe, and then I will add salt into that, and then we will see that after the salt dissolves, the volume increases. So let us have a quick look with the at this activity which proves that the volume changes. Volume does not remain the same. As per the discussion of characteristics of particles of matter, there is one experiment which is given in your NCERT textbook, which says that the particles of matter has space in between them, and the other particles can occupy those spaces. So this has been proved by adding sugar or salt to water, and it has been proved that the volume does not change, because the sugar gets dissolved and it occupies the interparticle spaces. But this concept is not correct. This we will prove with the help of an activity. Here I have taken a syringe, and it is having some markings. You can see I have taken water in the syringe and filled water up to the 5 marking, as you can see in the syringe. And I have plugged an eraser at the bottom of the syringe so that the fluid does not come out. Means I have packed the mouth of the syringe. Now I will add some salt to this. Now as per the activity given in the textbook, it says that if we are dissolving a small quantity of salt or sugar in water, the volume will not change. But we are going to prove here that the volume will change. Now let us shake vigorously Now you can see a part of the salt has dissolved, and you can see I did not add any water, but the level of the solution has raised above 5. It means that the volume changes. So the first activity of the first chapter given in your textbook is not correct actually. We should know this, that the volume will change. Now in the textbook it is given in the beaker. So if the diameter of the vessel is big, you will not see this volume change. The purpose of taking syringe in this activity is that the diameter of the syringe is less as compared to that of a glass or a beaker. So here immediately we can see the change in the volume. We can note the change in the volume. Yes children, it is very clear to you. So you can understand in this way. So we will consider that the first activity given in chapter 1 is incorrect. Thank you. Okay students, now you are very clear. You saw that the volume increases a little. So by adding salt or sugar, the volume will change. In this we will not be able to see because the diameter of the container is very big. So whatever small change in the volume which is taking place will not be visible in this container, but it is very clear visible in this syringe. Hope you have understood this. So yes, particles of matter have space in between them, but these spaces can't be occupied by salt and sugar. Children, if you see, the formula of water is H2O and the formula of sugar is C12H22O11. So you can just see from the formula or even NaCl. So you can see that these molecules will be much bigger and water is a very small molecule. So if there is space in between the water molecules, then how will it be able to occupy such a big molecule of sugar in between? Rather it will take some H2O molecules only in that space. They will only fit into that space. So it is not true that it can accommodate such a big molecule in the intermolecular spaces. So we'll just take this characteristic as it is, but the activity does not support the characteristic. Okay. Now let us move on to the third characteristic of matter. Particles of matter are continuously moving. So this you have experienced in your day-to-day life. You burn an incense stick and keep it in the corner of the room, and its aroma will spread throughout the room. Why is it spreading to the other corner? Why the person in the next room also can come to know that you have lit an incense stick? Because the particles of matter are continuously moving. So whatever the vapors of the scent is there, it will travel through the air and then it will reach to the other room. We will also see one activity to prove these particles of matter are continuously moving. In a beaker or in a glass, we take some water and then we put a drop of ink or a drop of a colored substance. We do not shake it, we do not stir it, but slowly it will diffuse throughout the liquid and the liquid will become colored. So this proves that particles of matter are continuously moving. The example of incense stick also. The example of honey. If you put honey in a beaker containing water, the honey will settle down. But slowly what will happen? The honey will spread throughout the water and it will make the water sweet. So this is also one example. So here diffusion is taking place. Diffusion is the intermixing of one substance into the another. One gas into another gas, or a gas into the liquid, or liquid into a liquid, or solid into a liquid. So that is diffusion, intermixing of one substance into another substance. Now let us see an activity to prove that particles of matter are continuously moving. And then in the next video, we will see the fourth property of matter, that is particles of matter have force of attraction between them, or they attract each other. Thank you. So children, now we are going to prove that the particles of matter are continuously in motion. For proving this, I will do an activity. I have a glass of water here and I have ink. Now I take a drop of ink with the help of a dropper and slowly place a drop of ink on the surface of water. Now as you can see, I am not stirring the water in the glass, but still you can see the movement of the ink. Slowly it is diffusing throughout the water. So even without stirring, even though we have not disturbed the water, the ink will keep on moving throughout the water, and slowly the water will become colored. Children, you can see the movement closer. I will give you a closer look. You can see the drop of ink had settled down and now it is rising again back up. Slowly the ink is diffusing with the molecules of water. This can be seen through motion. It means that the particles of ink are also moving and the particles of water are also moving. So particles of matter are continuously in motion. This is the next characteristics of particles of matter. Thank you.